You're listening to Carlow Connects, a local business podcast keeping us all connected. Available now on all major podcasting platforms. Welcome back to Carlow Connects. I'm Paddy Carl. You know the drill by now, but if you're new to the podcast, each week I meet someone driving things forward, and this episode's no different. Let's crack on and let's jump in. Today we are joined by someone who embodies the heart of Carlow Rugby Club. She's the club's PRO and Communications Officer, Club Welfare Officer, Director of Women's Rugby, Manager of the All-Inclusive Team, and a past President. She is so committed to the community and has only deepened since further with her husband, Padraig, who recently was diagnosed with cancer, and the club has rallied around them in such a credible way. With a major fundraiser and raffle happening in the second week of August, we here at Carlow Connects wanted to shine a light on the people behind the club, the strength of the community, and the highs and lows of supporting rugby both on and off the pitch. This girl's story is one of resilience, leadership, and a little bit different on this podcast, but a big thing here, a thing called love. And we're delighted to have her here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Muireann.
Yep.
You're very welcome to the podcast.
I don't even know what to say to that. That doesn't sound like me.
Well, you actually gave it to me.
I know. I didn't write it all, I promise.
To start off, can you just tell us a little bit about the fundraiser and raffle happening in Carlow Rugby Club in the second week of August? What's involved and why is it so important this year?
For so many reasons. I know that it's a little bit of a bugbear for people. Like we're all clubs are always fundraising and we're always trying to do things a little bit differently, and this year Carlow have stepped outside of our comfort zone. We've gone into something we have never tried before, so we are exceptionally lucky. We have two major sponsors on board. We have Tile and Style and DP Bathroom Renovations, and we are raffling a bathroom renovation across all of Leinster to the value of €15,000. So we have all of our products are coming from Tile and Style, and all of the renovations, including taking out your old bathroom and getting rid of your old bathroom, are coming from Derek Hayden and DP Renovations. And it's these type of fundraisers that keeps the club going. It's what keeps the gates open. We are exceptionally lucky that we have amazing people in the club.
Isn't it mad how clubs and business and the people in those business, they really want to support?
We are so lucky. We're so lucky, Paddy. Like the amount of support and backing that we get from businesses right across Carlow, and from start-up businesses who come in and say, I don't really know what we can do, but we'll come up with some kind of a plan, be that if they want to come up and just be part of the club, just be around us, just be there for matches. All we want is for people to know that the gates are open and everybody is welcome in whatever capacity it suits them. And we're blessed. Like, we have the likes of Netwatch, who have been the main club sponsor for years. They do their family days up in the club, so we get to give a little bit back to them as well as them giving to us. Then we have our jersey sponsors, like we have Ivor O'Loughlin, and I don't know if Ivor has decided it's a good or a bad thing, because he gets landed with us after every match, but he smiles and he knocks a bit of crack
He's
out of
plenty
it.
pictures down in the pub.
Oh,
so,
he does. And we have Kevin Kelly and the Arboretum, and for a small little club, and to reach the highs that the club have and then fall so dramatically, and it has taken us years to build back up. But when I stand in the middle of that club, and especially now, there's so much work going on behind the scenes. Like, we have new fencing put in. There's a new disability viewing area going in now in the next couple of weeks. We're very lucky. You were saying you had the lovely Jennifer O'Connor in earlier on. She gave us a huge helping hand getting a grant to put in a walking track. Everything that we do, we want to do it for the people that want to come into us. And it's whether that's on the field or off the field. Like, I've never played a game of rugby in my life. I will never play a game of rugby in my life. I have no intentions of doing it. And I certainly never thought I'd end up in a rugby club. But that's a second home. Like, I know I can walk through those gates, and whether I'm in good form, bad form, there's stuff going on, there's stuff happening. All of our stuff that was going on at home, that's our little safe bubble. And like even I was up there last night, our senior women had the pre-training with 2 new coaches coming on board. Our senior men were back up, they had their first training session. It was 40 lads and 5 new coaches. And you're just standing back going, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, the buzz is back.
Oh,
so the season is kicking off.
Yeah.
And you look at, we'll just say about entrepreneurship, and you'll talk about the startups there, right?
Yeah.
That want to do something. So as a startup company, majority of them have come up with a new idea,
Yeah.
right? How in the name of God did you come up with an idea for a bathroom? Because I've been on many a fundraising committee, and I think we're just going after stealing your ideas. So come on, what bright spark?
Derek Hayden.
Fair play to Derek.
Derek is an absolute genius, and he does so much work in the club that nobody knows about. Like, he's all the renovations for the pitches last year. Derek was up there 5, 6, 7 times a week. He was watering pitches. He was keeping an eye on things. He's been working on this idea for, I'd say, about 2 years, kind of deciding what was the best way to go about it. He approached Tile and Style. Bernard was unbelievable. Yeah, straight away. Tell me what you need. We'll sit down.
Bernard Horan you're talking about
yeah,
here now. Fair play to Bernard.
He absolutely just anything that we said, he was like, yeah, we'll make it work. What do you want to do? How do we do it? So it's, in fairness, the fundraising committee can take no credit for this one. This was all Derek, to be fair to him. Now, again, like, we're fierce lucky. Like, we had a potential sponsor coming into the club last night. Never met the person before, really, really lovely. And they were saying, oh, tell us a little bit about the club while we're up here. And I said, right, I'll give you an example. I said, stand up there for a second. And because it was such a beautiful evening, everyone was sitting outside. We were sitting at one table, having our little meeting. There was a fundraising meeting happening over here. There was a rugby meeting happening over here. The lads were all heading out. The women were heading out. There was a few in the gym. It's like, if you look around, this is our club. This is who we are. This is what we are. This is, I'm not going to, I don't know if I can curse, but I'm not going to fill you with bullshit. This is exactly who we are and what we do. So I'd love to have people know, because like it's not all simple. Like, I remember the first time I walked into the club, right? Padraig was coaching. I grew up in Tullow, so I grew up in the rugby club in Tullow. I knew very few people in the club in Carlow. I had a 6-month-old baby in a buggy. A rotten winter's evening, and it lashing rain, and I felt so out of place. I didn't know where I didn't know where I was to go. I was uncomfortable. I didn't know the lie of the land in it at all. And I walked into the bar, and I'd say about 5 different people went, come on, sit down. What's the crack with you? Now, half of them were interviewing me to see who Padraig had brought in. To see how I was after.
Has she a few bob?
Exactly. Is there a bit of road frontage there? What's the crack? But it's that, like, it's, I'd love people. I think rugby can have a really bad name, right? And it can kind of be associated with being a bit snobby, and we're a bit elitist, and but come up to the club.
It's far from that.
It is far from it.
When you say about, when you brought that person in last night to potentially, hopefully sponsor or give something or fundraise, whatever, to the club, and when they stood up and they looked around the amount of volunteers that give up their time to a club.
Yeah.
And if you ask them, why do you do it? I love it.
Yeah.
I know, and that maybe is their get out from work.
100%.
Talking about the matches, talk about the fundraising and all that. And it's no different to the club that I'm involved in Palantine GA in Carlow. We're all volunteers, but we all want to see the best for our own clubs.
I would love. We have a young fella, he's 14. And he was the 6-month-old baby that was brought in the buggy. And he's grown up in that club. And he's playing under 15s this year. He's built like Padraig. He's built to play rugby, thankfully. But some of his best friends are in that club. And I was asked in an interview a couple of years ago, why why the rugby club? Like, why in there? What, apart from Padraig, obviously, and what the club has given back to him and his love for the club. And he said, well, the club has given my son a home. And I would love to think in 40 years' time that he'll want to be part of that. That when he finishes his playing career in whatever capacity that looks like, that he'll want to be inside. But there's a club there for him. And it's a growing club and it's a happy place to be. And who am I to say that our coaches who give up so much time, like there's so much goes into it. Everybody sees the match days, but nobody sees like the miserable 2 evenings a week and all the paperwork and all the bits that goes on behind it. Like in PAL, like there's so much behind all of that. But why would I say no then? Who am I to say, no, I'm not going to help? Like, you go do that, but I'll rock up and drop off my kid and I'll see you there in an hour. And some people, that's what they need. And that's okay too. That's all right. Like, it's whatever you can give in the space that you're in at the minute.
Absolutely. And that goes by, and life is busy.
Yeah.
And it's, look, I was only young in the 80s or 70s, 80s, and my parents, whatever, worked very hard. But if you ever asked them, maybe life was a little bit more simpler. I don't know if it wasn't easier.
No, but it was probably simpler. Yeah.
And we see today that it's just go, and maybe it's the social media that we're looking at, and it's flicking through all the things. But even a person buying a lotto ticket in a club, or even buying that ticket for your fundraising, what that does, number one, it obviously puts money into the coffers, but it actually enables the club to grow and grow and grow and to bring more people in. And I see here, you know, director of women's rugby, and I know from Carlow Town Rugby, there was a gap that stopped for a while, didn't it?
It did. We were very lucky, and women's rugby in Carlow was colossal for years. We had a connection with the college. It was a joint team. The Carlow women's team actually got to AIL status before the men's team. It's one of my little digs I like
throw
to
it
get
out there
every now
again,
and
throw it out
again.
there again.
But unfortunately, that broke down for a long time. And then when COVID hit, we actually lost our women's team altogether. And when...
Did that have an effect on the college team now as well?
Not necessarily as much on the college team,
Right.
because they were still getting the students in. So they were still able to field the team. Now, the college also have a colossal women's programme. Well, they have a colossal rugby programme, but they have an unbelievable women's team in the college as well. And they're really well coached and they're doing a cracking job. And sure, the women in Tullow are in AIL. They are so committed and doing an unbelievable job with women's rugby in Tullow. They are blowing us out of the water. They're fantastic. But when I was asked, so it was Brendan Carberry asked me to be president. And the running joke in our house was that he rang and he was looking for Padraig, and I answered the phone, so he asked me instead. That's what Padraig likes to tell people. But Brendan said to me one day, what do you want to bring to your presidency? What's going to be different? And I took to titter and I said, we'll get a women's team. And he kind of looked at me going, what? So I was really lucky. There was Bob Keady, there was Tom Crotty, there was Patricia Haslam. We had women that were playing AIL at the time and had played for the Coyotes came back in. So we had a lovely mixture of kind of the younger girls that had grown up in the club that unfortunately we didn't have teams for. So they had gone to play in other clubs or had actually given up altogether, and they all came back. So 2 seasons ago, we got a team up and running. They won the Division 5 Developmental League. I think the barracks thought we were never going to leave, and Dinry sure were feeding us pizzas for a couple of days. We not great crack.
So what you're telling me is that they are allowed to have a few drinks after a game.
After. When we do well, we're good on the pitch, we're good off the pitch, in fairness too. So we'd be good like that. So last year we got moved up to Division 4. And they finished 3rd in Division 4. And this year now we have a bit of a new system in place. We have new coaches coming in. We have new backing. We had 3 new girls join us last night. So it's all growing and it's all really positive. I'm really enjoying it.
You hold so many roles within the club. And so PRO, welfare officer, director of women's rugby, manager of the all-inclusive team. Past Brennan, like, how did your involvement begin, and what keeps you so deeply connected to the club? And the reason why you ask that is I'm always intrigued to go, you're not getting for this, you're not getting anything for this, but
I am.
Yeah, like, it's a pleasure.
I love the club.
Yeah.
I love being in the club. That is my second home. And I suppose to answer your question initially, I was standing outside the clubhouse one night and we were after having a few lemonades, and the lady that was doing the social media had moved on to a different role in the club, and Adele Gibbons was standing beside me and she said to me, you'll take over the Facebook page, will you? Sure, I suppose if you're stuck, I'll give a hand, yeah. And that was a Sunday. And on the Tuesday evening, I was sitting in an executive going, how on earth did I end up here?
What did I sign up to?
This is not
I have a look at
cards.
Can I have a look at that contract again, please?
Exactly. I didn't know how I was after ending up. And it developed from there, to be honest. Like I know I'm not supposed to have favourites. And to any of the women on the team that are listening, I love you all. But if it ever came to a point, and it will at some stage, as you were saying earlier on, life is very busy. Things happen, people move on. It gets to a point where I'm going to be outdated, and I hope that younger people will want to come in and they'll want to take over. But if there's one thing I would like to think that I will always be involved in, whatever capacity it looks like, is the all-inclusive team, the Bees. Paddy.
Tell me a little bit about the all-inclusive team.
If you're at nothing some Thursday evening, right?
Did I not just tell you that we have a very, very busy life?
It's only an hour on a
Thursday.
Thursday.
And if I go home to my dear wife and tell her that
oh no, don't do that.
Muireann has just asked me to come up on Thursday night to play rugby.
Oh no, right? Our all-inclusive team, we have kids from 5 to our eldest is 22 at the minute. It's for kids with special abilities and their siblings. And it's up and running. Arlene Brown and active Carlow now, what was Carlow Sports Partnership. We started this, oh golly, is this 9 years now, I think, and with a 6-week trial. And said we'd give it a punt and see what would happen. And after the 6 weeks, myself and Arlene sat down and went, we can't let this go. This is something that we need to keep in the club, keep involved. We've had kids go the whole way up along. We've had kids that have decided they don't want to leave, they want to stay with us. We've had siblings come in. We had one of the largest all-inclusive blitzes in the southeast in the rugby club just there a couple of months ago. It was sponsored by Energia. We had kids from Northern Ireland, kids from Galway, they come over from Scotland. It was absolutely amazing.
For those parents of those kids, I would say that's so special.
Yeah. And we're blessed. Our parents get as involved as the kids do. So there is never anything that's too much hassle, too much trouble. If we're running events, if we're having blitzes, all the parents will get involved. And even every now and again we do, we invite them all out on the pitch. Now, my rugby skills are very limited, but you'd have some crack. Like when we did the walkathon last season, the start of last season, we did I laughed, I cried, I was supposed to be taking videos for social media. I could put up none of them because I was shaking.
You were bawling.
I was roaring. The senior men's team played our Bees team and it was absolutely brilliant. The crack between the two of them. Now our Bees won and they won very decisively. They won very well. But we had Puddy was ref and he was calling TMOs and he was sending off lads with red cards and it was just... But again, it comes back to that community feel. Like our Bees train on a Thursday evening, but it's really important to us that they trained when others were in the club. That they're part of the club.
So, yes, so what you're saying is that everything is visible.
Everything.
Yeah, so when people they're not rocking up to an empty club.
No. Not at all.
Yeah.
They're coming in, the lads are coming in for training, our under 18s are usually training as well. You have 9 times out of 10 the seniors will come up a few minutes early to watch the end of the Bees training. They're I keep telling them they're very lucky they get to train on the main pitch. They're one of the only teams that get to train on the main pitch, in fairness. But it's something that we're incredibly proud of. And we're actually, within the Southeast, we have amazing all-inclusive rugby teams. Like I won't even start naming them because I leave out some of the clubs and I don't want to insult anybody, but the numbers that are growing in all-inclusive rugby is colossal. It's huge. And like there's a big blitz coming up in Balbriggan now in September, and they could have 1,000 senior and youth kids.
And has that been an initiative from, or it's an initiative from Leinster? Or
it
where
initially
has it come?
came from Leinster. It came from the Spirit of Rugby in Leinster, and we were very fortunate that at the time Des Kavanagh was involved in Spirit of Rugby, and he came down and he spoke to us in the club, and I can't actually remember if he spoke to Active Carlow or we spoke to Active Carlow, but Teresa came in, and within a couple of weeks we had decided on dates. We had coaches in, we had safeguarding in place, we weren't very sure. We had a couple of kids in wheelchairs at that time, so we were making sure that the facilities were going to be dry enough and then safe enough, and that we had access ramps and bits and pieces in place for them. But it's something that Leinster Rugby, I think, probably don't get enough credit for, to be honest, because again, it's something that unless you're directly involved in it, you don't know it's there, you don't know what's happening. But it's definitely growing. And like, even we've just finished, we had a camp last week, Tuesday to Thursday. We had 33 kids up in the club, like it was absolutely amazing. And Active Carlow had their coaches in, the Leinster branch had their coaches in, we had our coaches in, but the smiles coming off of the pitch, like it puts things into perspective.
And there you just said it. And sometimes, you know, life can take over, and you kind of go between work and family life and social life, and you kind of back when you just step back and you go, do you know this? Isn't it great just to see that, and seeing a child, a happy child?
It's absolutely, like, genuinely, I know you're very, very busy, but just drive into the car park some Thursday and even just don't even get out of the car, just spend 10 minutes. And it's something that I wouldn't be great at not doing anything. I wouldn't be great at sitting. Like, I don't do very well at it, but I hate missing Thursday evenings. Because that's just the bit of downtime. It's the bit of now the kids are competitive and they all want to win. Like, you don't get away with anything, in fairness.
It was a draw.
Oh no, there is no draw. No. And we have Zach does the hack up before every match and before every training. And he did it for our lane at the President's dinner. He did it up on the stage, and I don't think there was a dry eye in that room. Like, he was absolutely amazing.
Well, I hope that after today's that we might get a hold of that video. I'm sure the guys can do something for us.
Oh, 100%,
Ash
yeah.
and Gabe and Shannon, I'm sure they can, no problem at all. Padraig is such a huge part of Carlow Rugby.
Yeah.
I know he was in with the two guys here, the How Is He podcast, a couple of weeks.
He was.
He told us a lot of stuff about you off air, but we can't repair it. So we won't go any further. We do have recordings of it, so Padraig, if you are listening, we won't give it to her. Padraig was diagnosed with cancer, and just the rallying of the club around you as a family. And it just shows you, no matter what it is, Gaelic football, rugby, soccer, whatever it is, the sense of community that can just wrap their arms around you. And
it's colossal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I would have done without the rugby club. Being honest. Padraig, his heart is in that club. And I'm probably a little bit guilty by association because I got landed into it. And for a long time, because my name is so awkward and people don't know how to pronounce it, I was Mrs. Bonzo for a very long time. Mrs. Bonzo for a very long time in the club. And I took it, in fairness.
Yeah.
But I genuinely, I don't know what, as a family, we would have done. A little bit of my heart will always be in that club for what they did for us over the last year.
Families with someone very close to me in their family that's either been diagnosed with cancer or has cancer, like, what's the first reaction? Like, is it we got to keep quiet on this, or should we be talking a little bit more? Now, I know every family is different.
They are, and Pádraig is very private. Pádraig is in general, he's a very private person. It's fear. It's that initial, oh, sweet Jesus, what is coming next? And how do we deal with this next? And everybody is different and everybody deals with things differently, but we're exceptionally lucky because we have unbelievable people in our family, and they're the strongest people I know. And when it all happened first, it happened so quickly that you nearly didn't have time to process it, because it was, okay, well, what's the next step and what do we do next and when's the next appointment and where do we go with this and what happens next? But I think it's something that we definitely don't, I suppose I was in a very fortunate position that I never had to think about it before, because cancer had never darkened our doors before, and I hope to God it never does again. But I think for people, for the families and the people that are supporting somebody with cancer and trying to continue on their own lives and make some form of normality, keep things going for kids, keep things going for the outside family, it's really feckin' hard. And I don't know if people talk about it enough. I don't know if... It's a really tricky one, because you get a little bit lost, because no matter who you're talking to, and it's all meant with the best of intentions, everybody will ask how they are. Everyone. And every now and again, now obviously I can only speak for myself, but I'd be going, I'm all right too, lads. Sound like... Cheers. And you know it's not meant with any badness, because everybody just wants to give love for people that are going through their things.
I think, isn't that the Irish wit though?
Oh yeah.
Do you know,
but sure, aren't we all grand?
Yeah.
We're grand,
you know.
Like it's...
And I think, I know it can be terrible, but in the heights of despair, for some reason, as Irish and maybe as Carlovian people, scalionators, we crack a joke at the worst of times, but you actually will laugh.
Such a defence mechanism, because you just go, sure, look, are we all right? It'll all be okay. And I don't know if now, like, we're again fierce lucky in Carlow because we have Éist. And Éist are an unbelievable facility, and I hope that if anybody does ever have to go through anything, that they avail of Éist and they know it's there, because they're just absolutely amazing. I mean, I can't speak highly enough about them. The facilities they have, the privacy you feel, how you're treated, the respect of it all, they're just amazing. They're absolutely amazing.
And when Pádraig was diagnosed that time, obviously it's a huge shock to people closest to him.
Yeah.
Would you have known about Éist and what they'd done or what they do?
I did, but the only reason that I did is because my mum volunteers. And when she told us first, now Mum is there, golly, she could be there 10 or 12 years at this stage. But I remember coming home and telling us, I was going, what's Éist? What? No idea, not a clue. But it's definitely something that, again, we were talking about small businesses and entrepreneurs, and somebody said to me the other day, if you were going to start another podcast, and I was going, no, I'm out, I have enough going on. I would love to see the likes of Éist and the volunteer committees, and like, there's so many things available to people in Carlow that we don't know about and that we don't know what's going on. Like, even I was talking to a lady, her son came up for the bees camp the other day, and she was telling me that she had just collected her young fella from music therapy in Bagnallstown, and he was doing the bees camp and then he was going to art therapy. I was like, that's unbelievable. Like,
So one to the next to
to
the
the
other.
next, to the next. And there are things I would have no clue, not a notion they're going on in Carlow. And we're so lucky to have all these people that are willing to give up their time and willing to volunteer and want to be part of it. I'd love people to know they're there. I'd love them to know that the facilities are there.
And obviously, when the person that actually has the cancer, it's a tough ordeal. It's
Yeah.
getting yourself right, the treatment and everything. But the family, and you obviously, he's nearest and dearest, and
I don't know if you describe it that way.
next of kin and all that kind of crack. But Aish, the support for you and your son,
Yeah.
and then parents and
Parents
brothers and
families.
sisters,
Yeah. It's, I wouldn't be great at expressing myself about things. There's a reason I get on very well with horses. They don't ask anything of me. I don't have to talk to them. And I can turn up a bad old fettle and they don't care. They don't. But it's, again, I was fierce lucky, and I know, like, we've had a run of bad luck over the last couple of years, but I'd love to come out of it looking at the positives of it all. Like, definitely as a family, we're closer. We've gone through rough old days and rough old nights now, I'm not going to lie. It hasn't been simple. Pádraig is probably one of the toughest people I know, really and truly. Wouldn't admit that to him now. Might cut that
you
out.
won't hear this. You won't hear this. You'll be all right.
I don't even know if I told him I was doing it. I know I did. But he's an unbelievably tough spirit. And I actually think part of that comes from the rugby club.
Do you?
Yeah.
And has that gone from Pádraig when he was a young fella going up to the club, and then he's right way through, still involved?
All the way through. The resilience that he has been taught. Because Pádraig will tell you himself, now, an awful lot of people more knowledgeable about rugby than me will say he's wrong. But rugby never came naturally to Pádraig. Like, he worked incredibly hard. And he got some fierce knocks, and actually, the next time you have him in, ask him about his ear. He has a disgusting story about his ear falling off, but all these bits and pieces. But it taught him to be really hardy. But it also taught him that there's really good people around that you can rely on and you can talk to. Like, he'll tell stories about the club that absolutely fascinate me. Like, he talks about Leo Dillon, and like he's some kind of god, you know, like he's all these people and lads that would have been playing when he started playing first, and he'd be looking at them going, lads, is your choir sound, but I want to be out there, so I like his but and unfortunately I wasn't around for Pádraig's playing career, so I never actually got to see Pádraig on a pitch. I've seen videos and luckily enough photos and all the bits and pieces, but I can see what he's learned from it and what's come from being up there, and I hope someday that Fionn, our young fella, will be the same, that'll teach him that.
Like the support from not only Carlow Rugby Club but Carlow as a whole.
Oh,
you know, like, what has that meant to you and the family during during those tougher moments? Like, is there someone there or a couple of people or whatever that you're just able to go, oh, I'd love a coffee, let's just have a chat?
Yeah. There's people in Carlow at the minute that I probably owe my life to, and they wouldn't know it. They'd have no idea. But middle of the night phone calls, text messages, random, like completely, how are you getting on today? What's the crack? And they'll never know what that meant. But I saw when Pádraig's dad passed away. We unfortunately had a death in the club a couple of weeks ago. Benson Byrne passed away, and myself and Pádraig, his two sons, heavily involved in the club. Chloe, his daughter, is always in the club. They would have been stalwarts up at every match. Amazing family, the loveliest family. And we drove out, and the wake was in the house. And when we went to go into the car park, there was a whole lot of lads from the senior team organising all the parking. And with no, like they did that themselves. They wanted to do it. They did a guard of honour up at the burial. They were there for the family. Like, it's the community that is built around Carlow, that is involved in the club, is beyond anything that I could ever express. Like, they'll never know what they have done. Ever.
You go back to when Pádraig got his diagnosis, and you know, you're at a ground or you're at training or whatever, and you know people want to ask, don't you?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that person that wants to ask that question, right? I don't want to be bothering her, or I don't want to show that I don't want to be asking about their family. I'm not nosy.
Yeah.
But to those people, because I've been through it in my own family, okay? How's your father doing? How's Pádraig doing?
Yeah.
Jesse got a bad own knock or
Ask
whatever.
the question.
Isn't it?
Just ask the question.
Yeah.
And you know in your heart and soul, there's no badness meant by it. There's no, like, I had to laugh. When Pádraig got diagnosed first, he obviously had to be very careful, and he couldn't really come into the club, and he had to be very wary of his own health and his own situation. And we were in the club one night, and Pádraig said to me, "You go in for a pint. You take an hour, go in and sit down inside." And the lads coming over and just, I don't really know what to say to him, or like just ask him. You don't have to treat him any differently. You don't have to go and be on tippy toes around him. Talk to him the same way as you always would. Talk about the matches, talk about the club, talk about whatever you want to talk about, whatever you usually talk about. But talk. Just stay talking. Because we all know what happens when you don't. And yes, it's awkward. It's a funny, you get that, oh, should I not? What do I do here? But just ask the question. That's all I'm ever going to say to people, because you never know how much that means to not only the people that are suffering and going through it all, but their families as well.
Yeah, and it's just a small question, and that person, when they answer the question, you know, to say, I'm okay, I'm going through whatever I'm going through, but when they walk away from that person, 99% out of 100, that was lovely.
Yeah. And it really is. It makes a massive difference. Do you know what I loved? And we talk about community, and we talk about the people rallying around. We were at home one night, and one of the park was after getting a bit of good news. And it was everything was going the right direction, and we were all on a bit of a high, and it was going well. And one of the neighbours arrived down with, I think she brought a slab of Coke and a bottle of wine and a cake or buns or something.
Warm 7-Up.
Exactly, yeah. And she said, everybody arrives when things go wrong. She said, I wanted to celebrate, she's got a bit of good news, so I'm just dropping those in. And I just thought it was the loveliest gesture. And even down to, like, I arrived home one day and there was a cake on the front doorstep. Like, people are good. There's goodness in people. And I think sometimes, especially working in social media and being online so much, you can see such horrific things happening that you forget that there's actually really, really good people and really good things going on. And I don't know, I would like to think that both from myself and Pádraig and Fionn, that we just want to say thanks.
Well, I'm sure anyone that's listening here today will fully, will fully go. The community seems to be a fair core of everything you do, i.e. in Carlow Rugby. Like, what does community mean to you now compared to when you first got involved? Have you seen a change?
Oh, it's colossal. It's. Do you know what I find fascinating now? And we were actually only debating it the other night. It's the age group in the club. But everybody, now I'm there too long to be talking about being young ones, but everybody is getting younger. But everyone now also wants to do things off the pitch as well as on the pitch. Like, we've very few people, and again, life is busy. Some people only have the capacity to come up, and that's their hour and that's their space. 100%. But the rowing from our senior players right across the board has, like, I rang the lads last week and will you come up? Greg from Apache is going to do videos for us for TikTok. And we had them rolling around the middle of the
10-second
pitch.
challenge.
The
He's
10
caught many a person.
yes. But like, even myself and Adele were laughing the other day. Like, we've sat on tractors with cowboy hats on in the middle of the pitch. We modelled in our underwear for a calendar many moons ago. Like,
Ash, can we bring that up there, please, on the
No.
screen?
it's Photoshop, lads, we're grand. But it's like, I think people forget that, yes, obviously it's all about the rugby and it all happens on the pitch, but there's a million things you can get involved on off the pitch, and we do have really good crack doing it.
Isn't that so important what you've just said there about the senior players of a club?
Yeah.
Right. Because they might know it, but that 5 or 6 year old is looking at that player.
yeah.
Probably, you know, if I'm thinking of a lot in my little knowledge of rugby, that some of them are over 6 foot, 6'5", big men,
strapping chaps,
big men, and they're their heroes.
They are. They grow up wanting to be them out on the pitch, and I wouldn't have it any other way. No other way. Like, I often say to the lads, they're the heartbeat of the club. But it's without the younger kids, we don't have senior teams. So they have to show them the respect. And what I absolutely love, right, from the very first women's match that we had back, the whole men's senior team were at that match. They all came up to look at them. The women are coming up now. We have a couple of relationships blossoming out of it as well. There's a few boyfriends and girlfriends after stirring.
We shall tell no tales.
They're going on a while now.
We'll start stories here.
But I love that it's all across the board. That everybody has a place and can find a place and is part of it. Like, the 2 girls that are doing our Twitter for the last 2 seasons, Anya and Chelsea, are both now fiancés of our senior players. And they come to all the matches. They live tweet all of our scores. They're much better at it than I am. I hand over the accident. There you go, women. They're brilliant at it. But I love the fact, and I think, excuse me, some of this comes from the fact that I never played rugby. And I don't want to play rugby. I've no desire to be out on the pitch. But I love that there's a place for everybody. You can find your own little slots. And if you can't, we'll find one for you, because you'll get a job quickly up there.
When you rock up to the rugby club itself, there's one thing that I notice, obviously, is the stand with Netwatch on it. But the amount of local business that puts in their few bob or do whatever they have to do, to see that locally, it's phenomenal. Yeah. It's the heartbeat, though.
It is. We're exceptionally lucky. Like, the buy-in that we have from local companies all across the board is phenomenal. Like, we have companies there that are signed up for the next 5 years, 10 years. And what I love about it is, and I think even more in the last couple of years, we don't want somebody to come up and put up a pitch sign and never see them. Come up to the club. Come up on match days. Come in and have a few sandwiches with us. Come in and ask us and talk to us. Sponsorship is vital for any club, as you know yourself, and it's what keeps the gates open and it's what keeps the lights on. But we love that our sponsors are part of our club. And be that if they have kids playing, if they have adults playing, if they have sons or daughters, but they're up and they know what's going on and they're looking at the teams and they want to get involved. Like, we have amazing parents that are involved in their own kids' teams and are growing up along with their own kids. But like, the new fencing went in a couple of weeks ago, and so all the signage is going back up. And I was only last night, I was standing looking going, we're so privileged. Like, every one of these people are giving over their hard-earned money so that we can keep this going. And I think that sometimes we forget that we are in such a lucky place and we are in such a privileged place. Like, you look at any of the rugby clubs around, like a Thai double Towns Cup winners. Tullow have amazing history, absolutely colossal history. Carlow, Kilkenny. Like, for a small little country, we have unreal rugby teams. But around here, I don't know if we just breed them bigger on potatoes or I don't know what we do. But we have amazing rugby clubs around. And it's growing. Like, the 3 local clubs now all have women's rugby teams. Like, that would have been unheard of years ago. Like, rugby in Carlow and the surrounding counties is in an unbelievable place.
And we'll just talk about Carlow Town and Tullow for a second. What an absolute, what a rivalry.
Oh,
And
it's so cracked up.
Correct me wrong, there's always a game at Christmas. Am I right? Is that New Year's Day or?
It used to be New Year's Day.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, we revived it again. It was the Carpe Diem Cup. And I grew up in Tullow. My dad owns a business in Tullow. And we were never a rugby family growing up, obviously. But this slagging and the rivalry. Like, Tullow beat Carlow in the Towns Cup this year. And I was related to more of the Tullow team than I was the Carlow team. And I have to be very careful. But it's a really healthy rivalry and it's a brilliant... What I absolutely love is, right, the lads will go out and they will go hammer and tongs on the pitch, but they'll all come in and have a pint afterwards.
Yeah, rugby has that... such respect.
It is, and that's exactly what it is. It's respect. You leave every single thing out on that pitch, but the minute you step off of it, it's done. That's it. There's no, and you see that across the board with all teams. But I love, like, there's something very special about Carlow Tullow match days. They're no matter what leagues they're in, no matter what they're doing, they hit different because they're fierce and they're fiery and it's such a local rivalry. But you know that once it's done. And that's it.
Just on the word respect, so when the young kids join up with Carlow Rugby, I would guess from the very start,
yep,
they're taught about the respect not only for
on and off the pitch,
the opposition player, but the referee is huge in rugby. Colossal,
absolutely colossal. So after every match, from minis the whole way up, the kids are taught, they have their 2 lines. Every single team shakes hands coming off the pitch and every single team shakes hands with a ref. And that's across the board with every team in Carlow. It's something that I'm fiercely proud of, I have to say. I love the fact that it's instilled from such a young age through our coaches and through the management of the club that on and off the pitch, if you're in a Carlow jersey, you're representing the club. And whether that's you're down in McDonald's or you're playing on the pitch, the sport is tough and it's fierce and it's a hard sport, but it's something that there has to be respected. There's no other way of getting around it, and I love that filters the whole way down through, both on and off.
And there's so much competition out there now between Gaelic football, hurling.
Yeah.
I'm going to say soccer here, but people say football, rugby, and cricket, and everything.
Yeah.
Is it just to give it a chance? Give rugby a chance?
I think
that traditional families, that would have never touched rugby in their lives, and their great grandfather would never.
Hurling I think rugby scares people a bit. Because you see the lads on the telly and they're coming off and they're getting concussions and they're getting their knocks and their bangs and they're the women's team. Jeez, I wouldn't run up against one of them if you paid me. But it's fascinating to me. If you come up for one training session, 9 times out of 10, they all come back. And I'm looking at them going, you're mad, but they love it. The minute that they get onto the pitch, one girl said to me one day that it's the most fierce she had ever felt. And I thought it was the perfect way to describe it, because she was talking about the confidence it gave her and the confidence that it then gave her off the pitch, she was getting fitter, she was getting healthier, she was making unbelievable friends out of it. But she said she felt strong. She when she was on that pitch, she was in control and she was strong. And I think people, and rightly so, if you don't understand it, you just see lads running at each other. It's a very strange way of doing things. But I think if you give it a chance and you give it a go, there's some life behind it all.
And girls and women's rugby, it's so important. But I can't remember where I seen the stat about the amount of girls that are, they get involved in sport and then they leave sport. And probably girls are probably under more pressure than they've ever been with image and all that kind of crack.
Yeah.
But as you said, they're the friends they can make from rugby. And now there's a facility up there in Carlow Town that promotes this. And to be able to walk off the pitch, to make new friends, and because everything can't be perfect.
No, and we have had some horrible days coming off that pitch. Like, God, going back to even when Park was coaching, like, you'd be afraid to open your mouth in the car on the way home sometimes. Like, not every day is a good day, but it makes it feel better because you're coming off that pitch with good people. So regardless if we've come off and we've been beaten by 40 tries and you're scratching your head going, what are we going to do next? You still have good people around you. Do you know, no matter what happens, you have good coaches, good management, good players. And these are all volunteers. These are people that want to be there and want to do it and want to be part in whatever capacity they can of it all. But it's the confidence that just blows my mind. Like, I love watching them. I love it.
I have to give a plug to my fellow GA club man, Mr. Adam Kavanagh, coming, the incoming president. But, and Adam, you'll excuse me to say, isn't it great to see a young man taking on that?
It is.
That role of responsibility.
It is. And Adam is going to be colossal. Absolutely colossal. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind. Like, he has things he wants to get done this year. He's so focused and he's so driven. But I love his plans. It's all forward thinking. It's all, what can we do next? What's the next one? How can we get to the next goal? And sure, like, talk about a family steeped in history. Like, sure, golly, Des is still up there all the time and we wouldn't have it any other way.
And for someone to go into that role, and if you've been a past president, and there's eyes on you now.
Yeah.
Can pressure come with that?
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to be president. Not gonna lie, I had no desire to be president. It was so far outside my comfort zone. I didn't really know what I was going to do, how, and again, obviously because I didn't play rugby, I was very conscious that I didn't want to say the wrong things, or I didn't want to come across as being arrogant, having never picked up a bloody rugby ball. So there is great pressure, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Like, it was a funny one, right? So, and I'll get in trouble for telling you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Exclusive.
Yeah. Well, I won't name the club, so nobody can get in trouble. So one of our first matches, I walked in and I had brought, Carlow Rugby Club we're in a colossal place. So we are one of the only rugby clubs in Leinster that have had 3 female presidents. Right, we had the first female president in Maureen Gordon, and then we had Adele Gibbons, myself, and Arlene Brown. Right, and one of the first matches that I went to, I was very nervous. One of the first away matches, and I brought the women with me. I said, "You can stand on either side of me now and hit me a dig if I'm lagging."
Because it's a role. Because you're
the face.
You're rocking up to other clubs, right?
Yeah,
and they're looking at you as the president. So that's probably where rugby is at. Like,
oh yeah, it's the next level up. It's totally different. And when I walked in, their club president said to me, "Oh, and so is your husband here?" Like, and I said, "Sorry." And he said, I thought he knew Pádraig. I wanted to have a chat to him or something. He said, well, I assume that's how you got the presidency. Like, was it through your husband? And I felt like saying to him, well, actually, I volunteered for the last 13 years. I think I stood on my own 2 feet there for a little while. But it really opened my eyes because I never got that in Carlow. Like, there was never a division between male or female. It was, you went in, you did your work, and that was it. But it really, really opened my eyes to go, God, we're actually very lucky here. There is no division. If you want to come in and you want to work, it makes no odds at all. But I don't, and now, thankfully, that never happened in any other club I walked into, and everybody was amazingly polite, and it was fantastic. The confidence and the lessons I learned, and even coming out of it, I remember Tom Crotty was making a bit of a speech one night, and he said, now, Muireann is here, but she'd be one of the quieter presidents. And I was going, am I? I don't think anybody's described me as quiet in my life, but I love the fact that everybody can do it in their own way and everybody has their own style. And because we do it year on year, but you have a 3-year build up. So we know for the next 2 years who's going to be president. And actually have another pal man. You have Alan Gordon.
Good man, Alan.
Yeah, we have Kevin coming. Kevin Fahey is in next year, and Alan is coming in after that. So he's keeping the family tradition.
So Alan is the junior president.
Yeah, he's the junior president elect. That's what he is. We'd be very fancy with our titles, but it's that family history, and it's everybody brings their own little way of doing it, and their own little ways of kind of even communicating with people.
Yeah, but that's important because even though it's an amateur club,
yeah,
a lot of volunteers,
yeah,
a club has to be treated like a business.
It does, and it's very important. And I think over the last couple of years, we have had some amazing volunteers come in, and they've put manners on us. Basically, they have pushed us into a system where it has to be run as a business, because, like we were talking about earlier on, we have amazing sponsors, but we want to give back to them as much as they're giving to us. And we're in a privileged enough position that they're willing to give us their hard-earned money, but we want to show them why. And if it's not run as a business, and if there isn't people that can be answerable, if there isn't a friendly face, if there isn't somebody that they can associate with, you're not going to have that. It's just going to fall apart.
Muireann, I used to go years ago to those brilliant rugby club discos.
Oh, I'm still raging I missed out on them. The talk of them lads, I wish I was even at one of them.
Are they still happening, or is it
No. Unfortunately, between insurance and all the bits and pieces, they fell by the wayside.
And that's, a lot of people don't see that, is the costs of running a club.
Colossal.
Insurance, maintenance.
Oh, everything. Like, we're very lucky in a way that we get good grants, and we get sports capital grants, and we have people that are kind of over grants to apply for grants for us in the club, and they do an unbelievable job. But it absolutely fascinates me when we go through accounts at the end of each year, and I'm going, what? How? Like, where does the money actually go? And that's literally just keeping teams on the pitch. That's before you turn on a light switch, before the pitches need to have work done on them, before we have hot showers, before any of the smaller bits and pieces. But the money is huge. It's absolutely huge. And it's something that I never would have been aware of until I was part of the club. I would have had no concept how much it cost.
And anyone that's at that executive level or on committees, you know, it is one of those things that's talked about constantly. At meetings.
But it's a constant worry.
Yeah.
Because you never want to let anybody down. You never want to have to turn around to any of the groups and say, oh, well, we can't do that, or we need to cut back on this, or we have to be mindful of that. But I think probably one of the best things about our executive, and I'm assuming they do it in all clubs, but I've never asked, we have a huge executive, and it's a mixture of all the, say, the heads of each committee. But we also have our senior men's captain and our senior women's captain. So they know what's going on. They know every cent that's spent. They know everything that's happening. But it's also then kind of fed back down to the teams. So it's not that we're trying to keep anything secret, or we're trying to hide things, or we're trying to work out things behind the scenes. What happens in the committee rooms is fed back out onto the pitch. And I think it makes a massive difference, because then if there is something that we say, okay, lads, we can cover half of the cost, but we're going to have to fundraise for the rest of it, or we're going to have to try and get sponsorship in, or whatever the case may be, they know we're doing it for the right reasons, and everybody is rowing in. And no matter what, like, we've had music bingos, which are unbelievable crack. We've had tourney roses, we've had race nights, we've had all the usual bits and pieces. But everybody puts the shoulder to the wheel and says, right, okay, that's it. Like, we'll give up whatever capacity. Like, I think when we had the Summerfest, like, there was 150 volunteers for that. Like, where else would you get it? Like, now the crack was unbelievable. Like, it was deadly. But to see people coming in, like, there is a photo somewhere, and I must actually root it out. We got in front of the changing rooms. And it isn't even all the volunteers, but there's well over 100 people standing in front of that were willing to give up their time to come in to help us out.
The call was made and people answered it,
answered it.
And it's huge.
Sure, where would we be without them?
You, of all your roles you do in Carlow Rugby Club, you were also into marketing with a company down in Borris called
Kelly's of Borris.
Kelly's of Borris, another famous Carlow company.
Yeah.
And you also have a little thing on the side called, am I pronouncing this right? Equitas?
Equitas, yeah.
So representing women in the equine industry.
Yeah.
So you know how important it is, not only for Carlow Rugby Club, the business that you work in, Kelly's, and also Equitas, how being visible and how keeping people updated of what's happening. Yeah. So social media for clubs, not only for business, is huge.
Absolutely colossal. Like, obviously in my job, I'm very comfortable talking about horses. I'll talk about horses all day long. They're my little happy bubble. Combine harvesters, not so much. It would be great, but I like being behind the camera for that one. And the lads are unbelievable. Like, as a family run business, to the level that they have built that to is like, it's phenomenal. Even the first couple of days I was down there, like, I still don't know half the staff. I smile and I wave at everybody, but they've built a.
Oh, here's your one.
Oh yeah, what's she at now? What's she going to ask us to do again? Anyway, they all smile back at me still. They don't know me well enough to tell me to feck off yet. Laughing though.
It's going to come.
Oh, it will. They'll get busy for harvest, and I'll be told in no uncertain terms. But it's, from a club point of view, I think, and maybe not even from a club point of view, media is changing and media is growing. And it's in an amazing place now where it's instant. Everything is instant, and you can get things like, I was trying to look up results of a football match the other day, a Kilbride match, and I was getting really mad because I couldn't find them online. And I was so used to being able to follow everything and go, well, why aren't they? Like, what's going on? The match is over 10 minutes. Everything now is so quick and so sharp. But so 2 years ago, Dan Crotty came on board on the communications committee for the club, and Tyg Ronan came on for TikTok, and Dermot Long and Jade Lawler and all players. And like, the stuff that they're putting up is just brilliant. And like, even we were talking about Greg earlier on, like, from Apache, like, Greg is coming up again tomorrow night to do videos with our under 15s, and the excitement, like, it's just
brilliant, isn't it?
It's unreal. But it's all social media. Everything now is social media. Like, you have kind of the different generations that love the different types. Like, Porrick's mum loves reading the match report in the Nationalist on a Tuesday. That's her thing. She adores it. She's all the pictures cut out, all the bits and pieces. But I think I think for any club, any sporting club, if you don't have a presence on social media to whatever capacity you can do within a club, you're definitely missing out.
We have to just stall for a minute because we've got to listen to a couple of shout-outs to our own sponsors here on Carlow Connects. So we're going to come back in a minute. And I said to myself, now it's maybe a chance to tell everybody your nickname. So we'll say that your nickname is Duck.
My nickname is Duck.
So folks, Muireann's nickname is Duck. Back in a second. This season of Carlow Connects is brought to you by 3 brilliant local Carlow businesses. Hickson Centra, Potato Market Carlow. Live every day at Hickson Centra with a fresh deli, a cosy seated area, free Wi-Fi, and don't forget to check out their brand new store on the Burn Road. Your local spot for great food and great service. Woods Contract Cleaners and Property Maintenance. Woods provides everything from office and window cleaning to industrial and commercial contract cleaning. And now they offer professional solar panel cleaning too. Find out more at woodscontractcleaners.ie. Green Pro Energy Consultants. Based here in Carlow, Green Pro Energy deliver BR certificates, air tightness testing, and ventilation validation with fast professional service. Get in touch at info@greenproenergy.ie. Your local energy assessment experts. So we're back here again with Duck, and we're ready to tip off to wrap things up here. So before we wrap up, this is one of my favourite parts of the show. Okay. We always ask our guests about a moment before they were bosses. Okay. Before they became the person people look for guidance. For you, that could be before you took on your first role in Carlow Rugby Club, or even before you found yourself supporting Padraig through his rugby journey, through his cancer prognosis. What's a memory from those early days that still makes you smile?
It's even hard to pick one, to be honest. I think probably one of my favourite memories of childhood that I love my parents. I'm very lucky, we're very close, but I'm a fierce daddy's girl, like out and out daddy's girl. And Dad often tells a story about when I was young, it's only 6 or 7 I'd say, and I was sitting on the steps of his business, and there was a fella came out and he was kind of looking at me a bit sideways as if to say, what are you doing here, or who are you?
Give your dad's business a shout there.
It's J&J Services in Tulloch. He'll give out to me again now, but anyway, he was looking at me and he said to me, who are you? And I looked at him and said, I'm my daddy's daughter. And I think it kind of set up nearly my own perception of my roles in life. It made me very proud to be an O'Toole. And I will always be very proud to be an O'Toole, so much so I refuse to give it up. So I'm O'Toole Brennan. I'm clinging on to that one for dear life.
You know, saying that.
No, I ain't giving up that one anytime soon. But it is definitely something that instills such a sense of pride into me, and such a sense of who I am and who I could be. Now, I would never describe myself as a leader in any capacity. I would hope that if people thought that there was a problem, that I am approachable enough that they could come and speak to me in whatever way that looks. But I think that kind of set up my personality for growing up.
Brilliant. We're just about there. Let's give it a last little bit of a shout out about the fundraiser in Carlow Rugby Club, because I know how important this is, and to get the word out that what's happening in August.
So on the 14th of August, up in the club, the clubhouse will be open, the bar will be open, the draw is taking place in the club itself. We might have a couple of surprises on the night. The tickets are all available online, all through our social media, all through Thailand Style social media, or you can come to any of the members of the club. We all are walking around with books of tickets in our pockets at this stage, but all the links are online. It's €15,000 worth of a bathroom renovation draw with Thailand Style and DP renovations.
That's absolutely brilliant, and I wish you so well on that fundraising. I probably didn't tell you this, but you're the first club to come on to Carlow Connects.
we?
Yes.
Oh, God, that's brilliant. I didn't know that.
And this is
Thank
what
you for having us.
this
It means
is what
a lot.
we've brought this podcast to highlight not only his business but the connection of sports teams and clubs,
Brilliant.
business and political life as well. So I really appreciate for taking the time to coming into to seeing us
I
today.
appreciate you having us. I hope
have
I
to
did
give
the
a
club proud.
huge shout out to our sponsors, because without our sponsors,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have this here in Carlow Connects. Big shout out to Ash, head of production, Gabe with him on production as well, Shannon, the woman that keeps it all running,
Amazing
and
lady.
to Darren as well on the content creation. So we have to have a team behind us here as well to make sure that everything goes out on time when Paddy is given out to get it out. So if you're enjoying Carlow Connects, please share it, send it to someone you know who's running a business, thinking about starting one, or just loves a good story, what we just heard today. And also, if you're a local business and you want to get in touch about advertisement, get in touch with the guys here at Amplify.ie. We'd love to hear from you. Before I go, where can we hear about, or where can we see Carlow Rugby Club on TikTok? Is there an email address, or who do we go
Instagram,
after?
Facebook. Usually me get shouted at, but it's carlowrugby@gmail.com if anybody wants to come up. Or there's training Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Friday nights. But our social media. All of our contacts are on social media. It's the easiest place to find us.
Folks, we'll be back again soon with another conversation, another story, and another connection. I'm Paddy Carl. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to Carlow Connects. Keep up to date with the podcast by following us on all social media.